My company sent me to Elko, Nevada, a town I'd never had a reason to visit before. It wasn't the kind of place people just wound up in. But a new project required boots on the ground, and I was the chosen boot. My employer covered lodging for the first few weeks, putting me up in a newly built hotel on the edge of town. Fresh paint, new carpets, that chemical clean scent clinging to everything like a second skin. The hotel was nearly empty, only a few cars parked in the lot at any given time. I was given a third-floor corner suite, room 303. The clerk at check-in, a polite young guy with a shaved head and a crooked smile, said they were using rooms from top to bottom during soft openings. I didn't think much of it. My first week passed quietly. I'd get up, make my morning coffee with those pre-packed Starbucks filter pods, dump in 2 creamers, 2 sugars, and head off to the site. Evenings were for bad cable TV, muted air conditioning, and the quiet hum of nothing out the window. By Friday, I'd settled into the rhythm. One of the new guys on site, a local named Darren, invited me to explore an old military testing ground about 45 minutes out. "It's been decommissioned for years," he said, "but it's all just sitting out there, frozen in time. Pretty creepy. You'll love it." Sunday rolled around. I packed a bag, met Darren, and we hit the road. The drive took us down an asphalt spine that eventually gave up and turned into cracked gravel. Our rental, a compact sedan, protested with every bump. We reached the entrance to the site, a rusted barbed wire gate swinging uselessly in the wind, and let the dust settle before stepping out. Old trailers, busted concrete bunkers, skeletons of machinery half buried in the desert sand. The place was post-apocalyptic. Darren led the way, pointing out decayed remnants. Over here was the testing lab, and that crater there, probably from one of the underground blasts. Then he stopped suddenly, pointing to the ground. "Whoa, there's a test shaft right there, deep as hell. Watch your step." I approached and looked down. Just a dark hole, wide enough to fall into. Cool air hissed up from its mouth. "Let's see how deep," Darren said. He grabbed a rock, chucked it in. We counted. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3, 4, 5, 6, thunk. That hollow sound hit somewhere deep in my chest. I felt a wave of vertigo, a sudden thought. What if it pulls me in? What if I just let go? I shook it off. Let's keep moving. As we climbed over a short ridge, the ground beneath us shifted slightly, rocks crunching underfoot. I looked back to Darren and saw him staring at me with this unreadable expression. "You're standing in a grave," he said. I looked down. A half-buried crossbeam, broken wood sticking out like ribs. Nearby, a leather boot, weather-worn and cracked, pointed skyward. I jumped back instinctively, trying to skip over the area without stepping on anything else. On the third leap, I landed awkwardly and went down hard. My hand dug into the sand and hit something hard. I looked down and saw the exposed jawbone of a skull, teeth still intact, grinning up at me like it was in on a joke I didn't get. "Shit," I whispered. "This is bad." "Relax," Darren said. "They're long dead." But I knew better. My grandmother used to tell me stories about the desert, about places you shouldn't disturb, about souls that didn't forget. I didn't say much on the way back. Couldn't stop thinking about the crunch of sand on bone. That night, back in room 303, I passed out fully clothed. When I opened my eyes, it was 2:11 a.m. I didn't remember turning the TV on, but it was playing some old black and white movie with no sound. The lights were off, though I always left one lamp on, and I felt it. That static sensation like the air itself was vibrating. My neck tingled. My arms broke out in goosebumps. I was being watched. I turned to the nightstand, opened the drawer. The hotel Bible was already sitting on top, not inside, like it had crawled out during the night. I picked it up and started reading aloud, any verse I could find, fumbling through the pages like a child trying to find a lifeline. The feeling didn't go away until the sun started bleeding through the curtains. By morning, I was exhausted, foggy, and paranoid. I decided not to tell Darren about the night. Didn't want him thinking I couldn't handle a weird vibe. But when I got back that evening, I noticed something. My bed hadn't been made. Coffee wasn't restocked. Towels untouched. Minor oversight. Maybe. I went to the front desk. The woman working now was older, sharp-eyed, stern. Room 303, I said. It wasn't clean today, no big deal, just wanted to let someone know. Her face didn't move. We don't assign anyone to clean that room, she said after a pause. I blinked. Why not? There were complaints. Some girls refused to finish their shifts after working that floor. Why? Things moving around, voices, cold spots, that sort of thing. I waited for the punchline. There wasn't one. She leaned in a little. If you want, I can move you to another room. No, I said quickly. It's fine. I don't know why I stayed. Pride, maybe. Or stupidity. That night, it got worse. Around 1 a.m., I heard giggling in the hallway. Light, high-pitched laughter. Kids. I opened the door. No one there. Carpet stretched silent in both directions. Then I heard it again. But this time it came from inside. The giggle was followed by a whisper. Don't be afraid. I turned towards the bathroom. The mirror was fogged up, though I hadn't used it. Written on the glass in a finger-dragged smear, "You shouldn't have come." I bolted, ran down to the lobby, heart hammering like a drum. The clerk on duty, some teenager half asleep behind the desk, looked up. "Someone's in my room," I said. Lights off, mirror written on, giggling, like a kid. He raised an eyebrow. "We haven't had anyone check in on that floor besides you. I'm not imagining this. No one said you were." Security arrived. We went back up. They had to unlatch the door from the inside. Inside, everything was still, cold, quiet. The Bible was on the bed, pages torn out and scattered. The security guard just stared at it, then at me. That wasn't like that earlier. Earlier? I did a sweep an hour ago. Door was locked. Room was clean. The cleaning staff refused to enter again the next day. The woman who brought me towels made the sign of the cross before handing them over. "I saw you in the grave," she said quietly, not meeting my eyes. "It saw you too." I moved rooms after that. Room 217. Different floor, different view, but the same night, the same dream. In it, I'm back at the grave. I see myself fall again, I see the bones, but this time the skeleton moves. Its hand grabs my wrist and whispers in a voice like dust, "You're mine now." I wake up paralyzed, can't move, can't scream. The TV turns by itself, the lights click off, and the giggling starts again. Something crouches near the edge of my bed. I can hear its breathing, and I swear to God, it says my name. I don't know what's real anymore. They say I ran down the hallway shouting, that I tore up a Bible, that I tried to light the curtains on fire. But I don't remember any of that. They moved me to a psych ward for observation. But last night, the nurse, she brought in my meal and paused at the door. "You're from room 303, she said. "Weren't you?" I nodded. She stared, then smiled, but not kindly. "I used to clean that room until it followed me home." Then she left, humming the same song I heard in the dream. "You're mine now,